the modern cage, and the invisible villain, to truly grasp what is happening inside of you. Let us create a character. Let's call this character Alex. Alex is a composite, a reflection of the modern human condition, and you will probably see a bit of yourself in them. Alex could be a 19-year-old computer science major, mainlining espresso and Adderall to survive midterms, spending 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day folded into a chair, their body held in the classic shrimp posture over a glowing laptop. Or Alex could be a 28-year-old graphic designer, a creative professional who builds beautiful worlds on a screen, all from a state-of-the-art ergonomic chair that cost more than their first car. A chair that, despite its lumbar supports and adjustable doodads, is still at its core a cage you sit in for a third of your life. Or maybe Alex is a 35-year-old fitness instructor or a CrossFit devotee, someone who pushes their body to the absolute limit, hitting new personal records and celebrating their strength, only to collapse in exhaustion later, feeling bound and tight despite being incredibly fit. Alex represents a fundamental paradox of our time. We have access to more information about health and fitness than any generation in history. Yet our body is under a unique and relentless siege from our modern lifestyles. Alex feels trapped, not by a lack of willpower or a bad attitude, but by a body that feels congested, sluggish, chronically stuck on buffer, like a bad internet connection. The common advice they get is always frustratingly surface level. Oh, it is just DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. It is a sign of a good workout. You are probably just dehydrated. You need to stretch more. But Alex knows intuitively that it is deeper than that. It is not the sharp, localized pain of an injury. It is a pervasive, architectural problem, a feeling that the entire structure of their legs is fighting them. And the thing is, Alex is 100% right. Because the villain of this story isn't the muscle fiber itself. The villain is the invisible cage built around that muscle, and around everything else. I want you to meet your fascia. If you have never heard of it, or only vaguely, you are in the majority. For decades, the medical establishment treated fascia as mere packing material. It was the white, stringy stuff that anatomists would scrape away and discard to get to what they considered the important stuff like muscles, bones, and organs. We now know that this was like throwing away the entire internet infrastructure to look at a single webpage. It was a catastrophic misunderstanding. Fascia is a silky, strong, three-dimensional web of collagenous connective tissue that surrounds and permeates everything in your body. It is not just a sheath that covers your muscles. It wraps every single muscle fiber, every bundle of fibers, every whole muscle, every organ, every nerve, every blood vessel. It is an uninterrupted, body-wide tensional network. Think of it as a full-body, high-tech internal Spanx that provides structural integrity, or better yet, think of it as a single, continuous, intelligent spider. A twitch in the fascial web of your left ankle can, and does, transmit tensional forces all the way up to your right shoulder. It is the true unifying system of the body. When your fascia is healthy, it is hydrated, supple, and slick. It is rich with a substance called hyaluronan, which makes it slippery. This allows your muscles to glide past one another with effortless grace. It is what gives you that feeling of fluid, easy, untethered movement. But modern life is a direct, sustained assault on the health of our fascia. When you sit for hours on end, a position I call the desk jockey, fold the fascia around your hip flexors, hamstrings, and glutes, dehydrates, shortens, and gets sticky. The layers start to adhere to each other. It is a process called fascial adhesion. And it is like your internal tissues are being shrink-wrapped in a shortened position. When you go to the gym and absolutely demolish your muscles, you create micro tears not just in the muscle cells, but in the surrounding fascial sheaths. As your body rushes to repair this damage, it lays down new collagen fibers, but it often is so in a haphazard, disorganized way. This creates cross-links and adhesions. Think of them as internal scar tissue or tiny, powerful knots that restrict movement and create tension. It is a protective mechanism gone wrong, a process of fascial lockdown. Even chronic mental and emotional stress plays a devastating role. High levels of the stress hormone cortisol are known to inhibit the cells that produce hyaluron, the fascial lubricant. So, a stressful job or a tough semester literally makes your internal web drier, more brittle, and less resilient. So that feeling of being encased in concrete, that is your fascia, having transformed from a slick, gliding, crystalline web into a shrunken, sticky, knotted up wool sweater that has been put through a hot dryer cycle. It is literally squeezing your muscles, compressing delicate nerves, and limiting your range of motion from the inside out. But wait, the plot thickens. This invisible villain doesn't work alone. It has a powerful and dangerous accomplice. This is where we get to the swelling, the puffiness, the lead pipe feeling. We need to talk about your lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is your body is silent, unsung hero. It is the garbage disposal service, the fluid regulation department, and a key part of your immune system all rolled into one. It is a vast network of vessels and nodes that circulates a clear fluid called lymph, clearing out metabolic waste, dead cells, inflammatory byproducts, and excess fluid from your tissues. Here is the critical piece of information. Unlike your circulatory system, which has a powerful pump your heart, the lymphatic system is passive. It is like a lazy river. It has no central pump. It relies almost entirely on the contraction and relaxation of your muscles to squeeze its vessels and move the fluid along, especially up from your legs against gravity. Now, what do you think happens when you're fascia to the very environment that these delicate lymphatic vessels live in gets tight, dense, and glued down? It puts a chokehold on them. It is like putting 100 tiny, invisible clamps all along the garden hose. The slow, gentle flow of lymph slows to a stagnant trickle. All that metabolic junk from your workout, all that excess inflammatory fluid, all the waste products of cellular life, it gets trapped. It has nowhere to go. It pools in your lower extremities, creating a toxic, stagnant swamp at the tissue level. And that is the source of that puffy, swollen, heavy feeling, the dreaded cankles, the legs that feel like water balloons filled with a heavy, thick sludge. So, let's summarize the conspiracy. We have a two-front war being waged against our lower body. Problem 1. A dehydrated, sticky, and knotted fascial web is creating internal tension, compressing nerves and caging our muscles. Problem 2. This fascial lockdown is strangling our lymphatic system, leading to a gridlock of fluid and metabolic waste. You can't just stretch this problem away because you are trying to stretch a knot. You can't just hydrate it away with water because the delivery and drainage systems are compromised. So, how do you fight an invisible, two-headed monster? How do you break out of a biological prison you didn't even know you were in? You don't need a key. You need a master reset code for the entire system. The fascial reboot protocol. Okay. We have taken a deep, unflinching look at the problem. We have identified the villains, a conspiracy of sticky fascia and a gridlocked lymphatic system. Now, let us introduce the hero of our story. And it is not some faddish, overhyped, exotic ingredient. It is one of the most fundamental, essential, and tragically deficient minerals for human life. It is magnesium specifically, in a form that allows for the most direct and potent application, transdermal. First, let's be crystal clear. Magnesium oil is a bit of a marketing term, a misnomer. It is not an oil in the traditional sense, like olive or coconut oil. It is actually a highly concentrated brine of magnesium chloride and water, typically sourced from ancient, pristine underground sea beds like the Kazakhstan Sea. It just happens to have a slick, oily texture on the skin. Why magnesium? Because magnesium is, without exaggeration, the master relaxation mineral. Your body uses this critical electrolyte in over 300 scientists argue. It is closer to 600 essential enzymatic reactions. It governs everything from your heartbeat and DNA repair to neurotransmitter function and blood sugar regulation. But for our purposes today, its most critical roles are in muscle and nerve function. Here is a beautifully simple way to think about it. Every time your muscle contracts, it requires an influx of calcium ions to relax. It needs to pump that calcium out. And that process is entirely dependent on magnesium. Think of it as the biological on and off switch. Calcium is on, magnesium is off. Here is the problem. Our modern soil is depleted of magnesium, meaning our food is less rich in it. Our high stress, high caffeine lifestyles burn through our magnesium reserves at an alarming rate. The result is that the vast majority of people in the Western world are operating with a significant magnesium deficit. Their off switch is broken. Their muscles are stuck in a state of low-grade, chronic semi-contraction, a state of perpetual tension. Applying magnesium through the skin transdermally is the ultimate biohack. It allows you to completely bypass the digestive system and deliver this powerhouse mineral directly to the cellular level of the muscles and fascial tissues that are screaming for it. It chemically signals to those tight, bunched up tissues, it is safe. You can let go now. But, and this is the most important part, just spritzing it on your legs and hoping for the best is like buying a Formula 1 car and only ever driving it in the grocery store parking lot. To truly unlock its profound power, you need to combine it with a specific, intentional technique. I call it the 5-minute fascial reboot protocol. It is the exact, systematic method that can take your legs from feeling like lead pipes to feeling light, springy, and kinetically alive. Let us break it down step by step in meticulous detail. Set the stage. This is non-negotiable before you even touch the bottle. I want you to change your mindset. This is not another chore on your to-do list. This is a 5-minute, non-negotiable appointment with your own body. It is a ritual of communication and care. The optimal time is after a warm shower when your skin is clean and your pores are open. But any time you can dedicate 5 uninterrupted minutes is perfect. Dim the lights. Put on some calming music. Take a few deep breaths. This is your time. Step 1. The application and the tingle. Take your magnesium oil spray. The dosage is key. Don't be shy. You are going to apply about 8 to 15 sprays per leg, covering the entire area from the top of your foot to the top of your hip. Now, a crucial heads up. The first several times you use this, you will almost certainly feel a tingling or even a slight itchiness on your skin. This is normal. Do not panic. This is often referred to as the magnesium tingle, and it is a very common sign that your body is highly deficient in the mineral. It is the sensation of your pores and cells rapidly absorbing something they have been starved of. It will fade and eventually disappear with consistent use. As your cellular magnesium levels normalize, think of it as a positive sign. It means it is working. Step 2. The golden rule of flow. Go north. Here is the most important mechanical rule of the entire protocol, the one you must not forget. Every single massage stroke moves upward, from your extremity towards the center of your body, from your ankle towards your heart, always. Why? Because you are now becoming the pump for your lymphatic system. You are manually and intentionally pushing that stagnant, trapped fluid up and out of your lower legs, back towards the major clusters of lymph nodes in the back of your knees and in your groin, where it can finally be processed, filtered, and cleared from your system. Use firm, gliding pressure with the palm of your hand, not just your fingertips. Don't just rub it in like you are applying sunscreen. Imagine you are trying to smooth out a giant, wrinkled silk sheet that is just beneath your skin. You need to engage the tissue. Step 3. A systematic tour of your lower body. This is where we go from a simple massage to a therapeutic intervention. We are going to systematically as the 5 key zones of fascial lockdown in the lower body. The feet and ankles. Your feet are your body's foundation, and the plantar fascia on the sole of your foot takes a beating. After spraying your foot, use your thumbs to apply firm pressure, moving from your heel towards your toes. You will feel tight bands. Linger there, then use your knuckles to gently iron out the arch. This releases tension that travels up your entire posterior chain, the calves and shins lower leg. This is ground zero for fluid retention and post-workout soreness. Using both hands, create a C shape and sweep firmly up from your Achilles tendon to the back of your knee. Do this 5 to 10 times. You are milking the fluid out of the 2 calf muscles, the soleus and thegastrocnemius. Don't forget the front, the shin. The tibialis anterior muscle here gets incredibly tight, especially in runners. Use your thumb to trace downside of your shin bone, the knee. We often think of the knee as just a bone, but it is a complex hub of crossing fascial lines, ligaments, and tendons. Don't apply heavy pressure directly on the kneecap. Instead, use your fingertips to make small, circular motions all around the kneecap above, below, and on the sides. This is where a huge amount of fascial tension from both the quad and the hamstring converges. Releasing it is key to feeling unlocked. The thighs, quads, and hamstrings. For your quadriceps on the front of your thigh, use the heel of your hand to perform long, slow, deep ironing strokes from just above your knee all the way up to your hip crease. For your hamstrings on the back, it is often easiest to sit on a chair or the edge of your bed, allowing the muscle to be a bit more relaxed. Reach under and pull up with your palms from the back of your knee to just under your glute, the hips and glutes. This is arguably the most important zone for anyone who sits. The glutes and surrounding hip rotators get amnesia and the fascia becomes incredibly dense. Use your fist or a tennis ball and apply sustained pressure to the meaty part of your glutes. While making small circular motions, pay special attention to the upper outer quadrant where the gluteus medius lives. Releasing this area can alleviate not just leg heaviness, but often mysterious lower back pain as well. Step 4. The integration and the final flush. Once you have systematically addressed all 5 zones on both legs, the final step is to integrate the work and let gravity assist you. Lie down on the floor and put your legs straight up against a wall. This position is called Viparita Karani in yoga, and it is a powerful lymphatic drainage pose. It allows gravity to do the final work for you, draining any remaining stagnant fluid from your legs with zero effort on your part. While you are in this position, perform 20 to 30 slow and deliberate ankle pumps, pointing your toes to the ceiling, then flexing your feet hard, pulling your toes towards your shins. This activates the calf muscle pump, what is often called the second heart of your lymphatic system, to give one final whoosh, flushing the entire system. You just woke up. Stay here for 2 to 5 minutes, breathe. That is it. The protocol is complete. You have just performed a deep system diagnostic, a manual fluid exchange, and a neurological reset on your entire lower body, a new reality of lightness and beyond. So, what does this actually feel like in the real world? What is the tangible outcome of this nightly ritual? Let us check back in with our friend Alex. They committed to this 5-minute protocol every single night for 2 weeks. The results weren't just noticeable. They were transformative. Night 1. The tingling was very real, as predicted. But what was more profound was the quality of sleep. For the first time in what felt like years, Alex's legs didn't feel restless, twitchy, or energetic at bedtime. They just felt quiet, calm. The sleep that followed was deep, uninterrupted, and genuinely restorative. Day 3, Alex did a brutal workout, sprints, heavy squats. The works. Usually, the next 48 hours would be a painful write-off, a period of waddling around like a penguin. But after performing the fascial reboot, that night, they woke up the next morning with what they described as a dull whisper of soreness. Not the usual screaming agony. They could walk down the stairs normally. This wasn't just an improvement. It was a paradigm shift in their relationship with exercise and recovery. Day 7, the 3 p.m. slump hit at work. Alex stood up from their desk, instinctively bracing for that familiar wave of stiffness and heaviness. And it wasn't there. There was no lag, no concrete feeling. The legs felt light, responsive, and ready. It was the powerful experience of the absence of a negative that created an entirely new, positive feeling of freedom. Day 14, Alex went for a run. It felt completely different. There was a newfound springiness in their step, a bounciness that came not from effort, but from a lack of internal resistance. They felt a sense of power and connection to their lower body that had been missing. For so long they hadn't even realized it was gone. The invisible chains were not just unlocked, they were dissolved. The fascial reboot protocol is a powerhouse on its own. But for those of you who want to go from a system upgrade to a full-blown system overhaul, for those who love to optimize, here are 4 ways to supercharge your results. Charge 1. The fire and ice hack. Before your reboot, while in the shower, perform contrast hydrotherapy on your legs. 1 minute of water as hot as you can comfortably stand, followed by 30 seconds of pure, unadulterated cold. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. The heat dramatically opens up the blood vessels, vasodilation, and the cold shock clamps them down, vasoconstriction. This creates an incredible physiological pumping action that jumpstarts circulation and lymphatic flow, making your tissues hyper-receptive to the magnesium and the massage that follows. Supercharge 2. The mobility lock-in. Immediately after your reboot and the legs up the wall flush, while your fascia is warm, hydrated, and at its most pliable, perform 2 minutes of targeted mobility work. My favorites are 10 slow, deep bodyweight third world squats and 10 slow, controlled hip circles in each direction. This takes the new range of motion you have just created and immediately puts it to use, sending a powerful signal to your nervous system. This new, improved range is safe and functional. Save this pattern. Supercharge 3. The Inside-Out Alliance. You cannot supplement a dysfunctional internal environment. Support your fascial and muscular health from the inside by prioritizing magnesium-rich foods. Almonds, pumpkin seeds, spinach, and other dark leafy greens, black beans, avocados, and yes, my personal favorite, a few squares of high-quality 80% plus dark chocolate. Also, focus on hydration, not just with plain water, but by adding a pinch of high-quality sea salt or an electrolyte powder to ensure that the water you are drinking is actually being absorbed at a cellular level. Supercharge 4. The tool-assisted boost for an even deeper release. Once or twice a week, you can incorporate a tool. You don't need anything fancy. A simple gua sha tool, or even the rounded edge of a ceramic spoon, can be used to gently scrape the skin after applying the magnesium. This is a form of instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. Use gentle, upward strokes. This technique is incredible for breaking up stubborn adhesions and bringing fresh blood flow to the surface. For too long in our modern culture of hustle and grind, we have been implicitly taught to treat our bodies like enemies to be conquered. We punish them in the gym, we neglect them at our desks, and we get angry and frustrated at them when they inevitably hurt or fail to keep up. But that feeling of heavy, achy, concrete legs isn't your body betraying you. It is not a sign of weakness or of you getting old. It is your body sending you a desperate, intelligent signal, written in a language of sensation that you may not have been taught how to understand. It is saying, I am stuck, I'm congested, the system is overloaded, I need help. This ritual, this protocol, is more than just a technique to relieve a symptom. It is an active translation. It is about learning to listen to your body's signals and respond not with frustration, but with compassion, care, and intelligence. It is about moving from a place of fighting your body to bange in a respectful, collaborative partnership with it. It is about reclaiming the feeling of lightness, the freedom to move without thought, hesitation, or pain. It is about cultivating the quiet confidence that your body is not a limitation, but a powerful, resilient, and adaptable vehicle ready to carry you toward whatever you are chasing in this life. So I am inviting you to make a pact with yourself, not for a month, not for a year, just for 1 week. Try this 7 nights, just 5 to 10 minutes a night. That is it. See what it feels like to systematically dissolve your own invisible chains. If this video gave you a new perspective, if it sparked a light bulb moment for you, then please do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Join our community. We are dedicated to giving you the deep, actionable knowledge to become the master of your own biology. And now, I want to hear from you. This is important. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the first thing you are going to do with your newfound lightness? Are you going to finally sign up for that dance class? Are you going to crush a new personal record at the gym? Run that 5K you have been putting off? Or simply enjoy the profound, underrated freedom of standing up from your desk without groaning? Share your goal. Let's make it real. Thank you for your time and your deep attention. Now go unlock your potential. I will see you in the next one.